Good evening, everyone. So, tonight I'm going to be doing a special focus on the Torchlighter series. Um, so, and I was thinking this was a good time to actually go through some of these videos and some of these programs that I've got access to and share them with people, especially given now that it's actually school holidays time. So, I'm sure a lot of us, well, I know it's school holidays time here in Queensland anyway. So I know a lot of us are probably at our wits' end. It's like, what are we going to do with the kids? So it's keeping the kids occupied, but also making it so that they've got something of educational value going into their spirits and their minds to help give them tools to be able to live on this planet and to be able to cope with things like bullying and self-image and all that sort of stuff. So what I'm going to be doing over the next months, I'm going to be doing video reviews on different educational kids programs that I've found. And I'll probably do a deep dive on each individual video in the Torchlighters series down the track. But tonight I'm actually going to do an overview of the Torchlighters. So anyway, my name's Geraldine and we live at Gendera, which is our property. And we are a homeschooling family. And yeah, I have two boys that are 4 years old and 11 years old, and I have a daughter who's 24 that I also, and I homeschool the boys currently, and I homeschooled Crystal as well from grade 2 to grade 10. So I've been homeschooling for a while and I've still got a long time to go. But it is a choice, and I'm definitely not regretting my choice in any way, shape, or form. So tonight, I want to actually share about the Torchlighters series. It's about heroes of faith. It's basically, actually, I'm just going to have a look at the website and go through that with you so that it can tell you a little bit about what it's all about. So this is the website. It's torchlighters.org, and I'll leave a link in the description. So it's the Faith Heroes for Kids. Follow the adventures of Torchlighters, heroes of the faith, and see how God works through those who dedicate their lives to serving Him. So there are a whole huge group of people that this series actually focuses on. Now, I have actually purchased the majority of these DVDs. I think there are some new ones that I haven't actually got yet, and I've been collecting them over the years. So they've got this shows the list of the heroes. So you've got Mary Slessor. I haven't seen that one. St. Patrick, that one's a recent one as well. George Mueller, Harriet Tubman, Adoniram and Judson, Martin Luther, Robert Jeremiah Thomas. Wow, he's inspired. They're all inspiring. John Wesley, Corrie ten Boom, Augustine. So that's St. Augustine. Samuel Morris. Oh, wow, love that one. William Booth, Amy Carmichael, Perpetua. Oh dear, I can't see anymore. Let's see if I can decrease the size of it. Okay, where was I up to? Perpetua. I had never heard of Perpetua before, and wow, her life inspires me so much. Richard Wurmbrand, he's a fairly recent one, but again, I had never heard of him before I saw these DVDs. Gladys Aylward, wow. Eric Liddell, John Bunyan, William Tyndale, and Jim Elliot. And guys, these people on this list are just absolutely phenomenal. What they have done in their lives, the faith they have shown, the depth of faith that they have, it just is absolutely inspiring. The obstacles that they face. But yeah, I'll show a quick trailer. There's a good chance I might get a copyright claim on this, so I might have to take this part out. But you can always go to the website, and I'll leave a link to that in the chat, as well as leaving it in the description. And I've got it on the screen. So you can always go and have a look at this. And they have a YouTube channel as well. So I will share that shortly as well. So let's have a watch of the trailer.
Such courage. I have never seen before.
It shall not hurt me. In the name of Jesus Christ.
This is none other than national champion Eric Little.
The Old Testament translations, not one note must be left behind.
We can't give up. What if they come after you? Then we shall soon be with our Lord.
You want to go to India? To Rome! To New York!
New York?
When do we leave?
The people of Romania need God's word.
We're headed for a storm, and it's gonna be a big one.
Oh Lord, help us.
Why are you weeping?
He has too much influence.
Lies! Lies! That is what you have been told by this empire!
Meanwhile, I forgot to unmute myself. so, so the Torchlighter series is absolutely fantastic. Now, you can buy the DVDs, but they've also recently made it so that you can watch them for free on their YouTube channel. Now, I don't have all of them, but I've actually got a playlist on one of my other channels. It's called Apps Alive. And I've got a playlist where I've actually got all of the ones that I've found on their channel. So I'll show you their channel in a minute. So you've got the Jim Elliot story. It's fantastic. Harriet Tubman. She was, oh wow. I mean, this lady's story needs to be shared. And these people's experiences that they've had through their lives, the obstacles they've faced, the challenges they've had to overcome, the level of faith they had to have to be able to do what God called them to do is just absolutely phenomenal. I'll leave this link in the chat as well. But if you're looking for something to be able to really strengthen your children, strengthen you, these are absolutely fantastic. Now, when you get the DVD, you actually get an actual documentary type thing at the end of the video as well. Now, I think Vision Video have actually got those on the website as well, on the YouTube channel as well, but I just haven't found them yet. So I've got a playlist here on my Apps Alive channel that goes through some of the different Torchlighter DVDs. So really, really inspiring, and I highly recommend that you watch them. But if you want to actually go over to Vision Video's YouTube channel, which is a great idea, I'll leave a link to that in the chat. They have a huge amount of stuff here, and they've got a playlist here with 545 videos. I haven't been through all of them, obviously. So there's just a huge amount of different. So they look like a lot of those are Christmas ones that they've got up there to start off with. Yeah, more Advent calendar. So there's lots of different things here. You've got animated stories from the Old Testament. I haven't seen any of these, so I can't give you any actual feedback on these as such because I don't know them. But I do know the Torchlighters series. I know it very well. And I've been going through that with my son for years and years and years. We really enjoy the Torchlighter series. We actually purchased ours from a Christian bookshop in Springwood, although there's one up at Toowoomba as well called Kuro, and it is absolutely brilliant. And they've got an online version as well for those of us in Australia. See. See if I can find it. Yep, there it is. I haven't been to the site for a while. I tend to like going to the real shop. So this is Kurong. You can sign up for their mailing list, and they've got a loyalty rewards program and all that sort of stuff. So this is Kurong's website, and Kurong is somewhere you can buy Christian DVDs and books and music and all that sort of stuff. So you can look up the Torchlighters. So you've got, so as I said, Mary Celesta is a brand new one. And these DVDs are like $10 each. Close that down. So they're like $10 each. And George Mueller's $11.99. The Mary Celesta is $11.99. Amy Carmichael's only $8, so they're on special. But they're an absolutely fantastic, it's a phenomenal series. I highly, highly recommend these DVDs, and there's a lot of them available, which is really great. It means that you've got options for things that kids can watch that is going to help them to not only grow spiritually, but also help to build and strengthen them in general, and help them to cope with different challenges in the world. Like, things have changed a lot throughout history, but a lot has also stayed the same. So let's have a look more at some of the resources. So when you actually buy the DVD, you get told to go to the website, and there are links to different resources on the website as well. So, oops, what did I do? Wrong website in there. Wrong website. What am I doing? So let's go back to the Torchlighters website. So they've got, as I said here, there's lots of different information, and you can meet the latest Torchlighter, Mary Celesta. I hope it's Celesta. I'm honestly not sure. I haven't seen the DVD yet. So, but there's heaps of different things in here. So you've got brand resources and books and the kids' activities. There are some great kids' activities to do here to go along with the DVDs. And now that you've got access to watch them free on YouTube, it's even better. I mean, seriously, these are great. So you can go and you can watch, say, the Harriet Tubman DVD or video. So you can click watch now. So it looks like that. So this goes through a little quiz. Why did Harriet have fainting spells? So the questions are, the cotton fields were too hot. So Harriet Tubman was a slave, and back when slavery was legal in America, many moons ago. So Harriet Tubman was a slave, and she actually escaped and rode the Underground Railroad. It wasn't really a railroad, and escaped to freedom. And then she would go back and actually save other slaves and bring them to freedom. Absolutely phenomenal story. But so this has got a bit of a quiz on Harriet Tubman. So why did she have fainting spells? The cotton fields were too hot? Nope. Her overseer hit her in the head with a weight. She was born with the condition. No, she was hit in the head by the overseer, and he wouldn't get her any medical attention. Wasn't great at all. Who told Harriet Tubman about the Underground Railroad? A Quaker woman, an escaped slave, William Still. Nope. I'm going to go with a Quaker woman. Where did Harriet find freedom? Oh, now that's a good question. New Jersey, Maryland, Pennsylvania. I think it was Pennsylvania. I'm shocking with geography. What was Harriet Tubman's nickname? Oh, that one's easier. Was it Moses, Esther, or Samson? I'm going with Moses, because it was "Let my people go." What song did the slaves sing to signal Harriet's return? Swing low, sweet chariot, or Go Down Moses, or Follow the Drinking Gourd. It was Go Down Moses, which was a little bit unfortunate because it gave it away to the overseers that she was actually there. What did Harriet disguise herself as to rescue slaves? A man with a book, a travelling saleswoman, or a train conductor? Now, to understand this, you've got to realise that Harriet Tubman and most of the slaves did not know how to read. So she was actually disguising herself as a man with a book because it made it look like she could read. So obviously that couldn't have been her. How did I go? Look at that, I got 6 out of 6 questions right. I actually really like the Harriet Tubman story. And the first time I heard of Harriet Tubman wasn't actually through the Torchlighters series. It was actually through the Nest Learning System. But that's another story completely. So that's testing your knowledge on Harriet Tubman. So then you've got some colouring in pages here. And we all know how much kids love colouring in pages. And then there's some activity pages. So you've got a maze. And you can download the student guide. So this is, it's great information for kids, great activities for kids to do. And you can use this as either a school holiday activity or you could integrate it into part of your homeschooling as well. So great social studies. Let's see if I can get that so it'll actually fit on the screen. No, that's a bit too much. So this is the cover. Then you've got the table of contents. And this is all for free, guys. You can download it all free. It shows you the route of the Underground Railroad. Code name Underground Railroad. Just all sorts of interesting information for kids to go through. And you've got the story mix-up, so you've got to put the number that the events happened in. And there's lots of different things here. Oh, this is the song Go Down Moses. And then information on modern day slavery. And then it's just got a whole huge amount of information in here. Like this is, how many pages? There's 25 pages here. It's a huge amount of information and a huge amount of activities for kids to do. So it's something that you could do with your kids during the holidays. Or if you were homeschooling, you could do it as part of your social studies. That was interesting that the book was able to be used as a disguise. Happy that knowledge and educational and more available to a wider array of people. Absolutely, CJ, and welcome. It is fantastic that education is available to a lot more people now than it ever has been before. Being a black woman in America would have been, especially back when slavery was a thing, would have been absolutely horrendous for any of them living in that condition. And it's fantastic that she was actually able to help free her people. Good morning, Wikishare Project. Kids love colouring in. They do. They absolutely do. So this activity book is a free activity book. You got decoders here and everything. And so you can go along and do this booklet after the kids watch the video, which is also available for them to watch for free on YouTube. How cool is that? And I love the Torchlighter series. It's a fantastic look into history, and just to see how people's lives have changed and how God worked in their lives. America is asleep, sleeping late this morning. Hey, why not? It's Sunday. It's Easter Sunday, isn't it? Happy Easter, Wikishare Project. No one seems to be on, so I decided to hop on. And I was talking in my previous live where I was doing my Sunday night live prayer, because it's Sunday night here at the moment. It's actually like 20 past 11 in the evening, so it's nearly Monday. Happy Easter, Wikishare Project. So I was talking to CG and everybody that was there about Yippee TV and some of the great kids shows that are on there. And I thought I'd come in and share a little bit for some of the other programs that I like to share with the kids as well. And the Torchlighter series is absolutely phenomenal. If you haven't heard of them before, they are a real blessing. There are so many heroes of the faith, as they call them, that I had never heard of before, and they are so inspiring. Like I'm not even sure how many there are now. It's probably getting close to 20 odd different DVDs that are actually, they're a bit like biographies of these people's stories, but they're actually put in a form that kids understand. So, and they're available free on YouTube. I actually purchased these years ago, but they keep bringing out new copies all the time. So I'm going to put the link up if anybody wants to come up and join me, especially if anyone's got any questions. So the Torchlighter series is absolutely brilliant, and I mean I've got some real favourites. Son's birthday is today as well. Nathan turns 9. Hard to hide eggs when they want cake and ice cream. Yes, it is. So yeah, I've actually set up a playlist on my other channel, where I do some tutorials for kids and that sort of stuff on my Apps Alive channel. So I've made a playlist on it where it actually has a lot of the Torchlighter DVD videos available to watch. So they go for about half an hour, but they've got some brilliant stories here, which I highly recommend. They really help kids to develop an inner strength and an inner increase that strength of faith. I don't know about you, but I'd never heard of Perpetua before. She was one of the first females that was ever actually able to write. And it was back in the early, like not long after Jesus died, but I think it was around 300 AD or something like that. But yeah, who's this one? But she was actually sent to the into the lions. So they had the whole circus thing where they'd send, if you were a Christian, they would put you before bears and tigers and lions and all that sort of stuff. Really, so let's see, and Perpetua was a white Roman, and she was fairly well-to-do, and her father was, he was a senator or something, I can't remember completely, but they were put in prison, and not to be a bit of a spoiler, but I mean, the priest ended up coming and joining them, and Perpetua had a dream, and they were actually sent to the lions, which is pretty gruesome, really, but it's what happened. It looks like they don't actually show that part on the actual YouTube. Oh, that's a bit unfortunate. Anyway, on the video, Perpetua and her friends were actually sent into the lions, and they were sent before lions and tigers and bears, and she felt nothing. There was no pain. There was nothing. And it's just really amazing to see what she endured and all that sort of thing. It's just really, really, I can't really say it's interesting too many times, can I? Oh dear. Anyway, so that's Perpetua. It's a bit disappointing that finishes there, actually. But I've got the DVDs, so. My wife loves adult relaxation colouring books for stress relief. Super technical design. My head spins, but they came out great. Hey, colouring in can be very relaxing. I mean, and if you can make it so you're colouring in and you're getting to learn something, even better. I mean, and I know it's school holidays over here in Queensland, and I know people are at a bit of a loose, because some people can be at a bit of a loose end as to what to do with the kids. And instead of just letting them watch whatever, for want of a better word, rubbish is on TV, have them watch something that's educational, is going to help build their spirits and build their their ability, their resilience in the world. Jim Elliot is another. Is a fantastic story. Jim Elliot. I mean, a lot of people know Jim Elliot from Chariots of Fire. So that movie was made about his life, and I don't know if I haven't seen it recently. Yeah, colouring can be amazing for dealing with stress because it helps you to get out of your own head. And so can watching kids shows. Kids shows, colouring in, any of that sort of stuff can just really help you cope with stress. And if you're getting to do something that's helping to build your character as well as build your resilience at the same time, this is fantastic. But Jim Elliot, he's fantastic. Or was it Jimmy? I might be getting Jim Elliot mixed up with. I am. Jim Elliot is the one that gave his life to bring the gospel to cannibals. They were a cannibalistic group. Yes, very calming. And a lot of that is you're focusing on something other than what your problem is, which is always important. So the Jim Elliot story is fantastic. I mean, I don't want to be a spoiler alert, but yeah, have a watch of some of these DVDs. They're really good. And as I said, there's a whole heap of information on the Torchlighters website as well. Eric Liddell was the Chariots of Fire guy. My goodness, I'm really having one of those nights. It's all good. Yeah, so he was amazing at running the 100-meter relay, I think it was, and he got into the Olympics, and his race was supposed to be on a Sunday, and he flatly refused to run the race because it was on a Sunday, and he wanted to give glory to God the whole way. Actually, this is funny. This particular section of the movie, the video, he actually fell over in the race, and he still won. Absolutely fantastic. So anyway, so his refusal to run the race on a Sunday made it so everybody knew that he was a follower of Jesus, and everyone was going, "Oh, he's a traitor," blah 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 blah, and all this stuff. So he had to stand up to that and decide whether or not he was going to stand by his faith or deny it. He stuck by it, and they ended up entering him into the 400-meter, I think, and that was not his race. He'd never trained for that. He'd never done well with that, and he ended up running this 400-meter race, and he was able to really touch a lot of people's hearts by giving honor and glory to God in sticking by his principles and making sure that it was obvious that this is what it was. I mean, if he had a belief, like I'm not saying that you have to make sure you do nothing on a Sunday, but it was a conviction that God put on his heart. And it gave him a real opening to be able to speak the love of Christ into, so this is where it's showing that he's letting down his country when he really wasn't. He was just standing up for what he believed in. But he got hammered, absolutely hammered. Anyway, they're really helpful videos that can be really beneficial in helping to build character and resilience, because they see other people's challenges in life and how they've overcome them and how God walked through them with it. I was at a personal development seminar once with a gentleman, I can't remember who it was, but hi Gail Southern Living, how are you? Nice to see you here. I had one of your subscribers, Peter Dell, drop into my Sunday night live prayer tonight. That was lovely. So yes, this gentleman was at the age of 25. I think he was an illiterate bricklayer, and he taught himself to read by having a Bible, and he had 3 of them. So he had one in the car, one next to his bed, and one next to the toilet, because he said that was a good place to read. And he taught himself how to read by asking 3 people, I think it was, what the words were. and because he never trusted just one person. And he learned to read that way through the Bible and through helping asking people that way. And he's now like a multi-million squillionaire or whatever. Not that money's all amazing, but it's amazing what God can do with people in really tricky situations. But one of the big things that he recommends to anybody is read biographies. Read biographies of people that have been successful in life. Just read as many biographies as you can. And that was a piece of advice that he gave to a lady who was a single mum and asked for advice. Said, hey, haven't had a lot of luck in my life. What's the best piece of advice you can give me? And he said, read as many biographies as you can get your hands on. And the Torchlighter series are biographies, and they're biographies that are Christian based, and they're based on people that have done amazing things for God. So yeah, it's really good. So the Ricochet Project, to remember the first woman to run the Boston Marathon, Catherine Schweitzer. Very upsetting story. I saw a picture of men running after her to arrest and stop her from completing in 1967. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. It's fascinating because, like with Eric Liddell specifically, after he actually, like he did end up finishing running, he didn't. Oh, hey, Silhouette Park Fun, you're still up. Your internet's still playing up tonight. It's lovely to have you back. We're actually talking about kids' DVDs at the moment. So, and they might be a little bit old for your guys. Your guys are a little bit young, but you might enjoy them. So Gail just made some fruit salad, getting ready for church herself. Now, if anyone wants to come up and join me, you're more than welcome. So yeah, Eric Liddell ended up stopping the Olympic racing, and he ended up going to Japan, I think it was, and reaching people in Japan for Christ. And he was running to save their lives, so running to save them in battles and all that sort of stuff. So really inspiring stories. Highly recommend them. They're just really, really good. And all the free resources that are available on the Torchlighters website is also fantastic. Now, I'll leave links in the description for all of this stuff. So back to the Torchlighters website again. There's like 20 odd different biographies that they've got here of different martyrs throughout history, basically. So because they're the heroes of the faith. Most of them have given their life to actually serve Jesus. Not all of them. Oh, all of them have died now. Oh, I think. Yeah, Nettie, so should I. We should be asleep. So you're just having a bad anxiety lately, keeping you up. So I'm going to have a warm shower and try again to relax. Oh. Anxiety is not fun, beautiful. Not fun at all. Maybe you should try some colouring in. We were just talking about earlier how colouring in can help be calming and relaxing. Yeah. You might even find watching some of these Torchlighter videos on YouTube might help with the anxiety a little bit. I'll leave links. There's links in the description, but I'll pop a link here. This is a playlist that I've created on one of my other channels that has some of the Torchlighter episodes on it. But in here, they've also got resources for kids' activities and ministry ideas. Oh, they've got a timeline here too. I haven't looked at that. How cool is that? I see. Here you go. Perpetua was between 182 to 203 AD. And then they've got when Augustine and St. Patrick, Martin Luther, William Tyndale, John Bunyan. Oh, wow. This is really, really good. Definitely take care, and we'll chat with you later, okay? Bless you, Nettie. Sleep well. I really should go to bed too. It's nearly midnight, hey? Psalm 91 is brilliant, Gail. I really love Psalm 91. See, John Wesley, who's 1703 to 1791, Adoniram and Judson. It's a really interesting story. I'd never heard of them before. So Friday night you had super clear skies. Your daughter and I were laying down and looking up at the stars, and I attempted to point out the constellations of a few planets, and I told her, God painted this. Yep, God did paint it. He's pretty artistic, isn't he? I love sunsets because I think the same thing. Totally God painting. Anne Judson, George Mueller. Wow. Now, he is amazing. The story of George Mueller is fascinating, especially when dealing with something like anxiety. George Mueller ran an orphanage, and he trusted God for everything. They didn't have a huge amount of money. He didn't go asking for donations or anything like that. He just totally trusted God for everything. There's actually a VeggieTales episode DVD that goes through George Mueller as well. What was that? I think that was Gideon the Tuber Warrior has the George Mueller story on it. Absolutely fantastic. But Torchlighters have also got George Mueller, and it goes into a little bit more details than VeggieTales does. VeggieTales is better for the younger age group, though. But George Mueller is famous for really trusting God and having faith in times when there is no hope of anything. See if we can, what resources we can find that they've got on George Mueller, because he is really inspiring. Look at that, there he is, George Mueller. George Mueller. Oh, let's do the whole quiz, shall we? So George Mueller, in the 19th century England, where were the orphans sent? So the workhouses where they worked long hours, an orphanage where they were cared for by teachers, or the seashore where they could get fresh air. No. They went to the workhouses where they worked long hours. You know how Oliver Twist? That was around this time. When George Mueller found out about the workhouse condition in Bristol, what did he do? He sent warm clothing and food to help care for the orphans, moved to another city, opened his home for as many orphans as possible. He opened his home for as many orphans as possible. His story inspires me and convicts me and makes me think I should be doing more, but I really don't know how I could. Oh dear. Mind you, at the moment, the more that God's got me doing is YouTube. Sunday night live prayers. Oh my goodness. That was stepping out in faith. Anytime you click live, it's probably stepping out in faith. But so how did George Mueller pay for supplies and care for the orphans? He used money he made from his successful business. He and his team prayed and God provided for their needs. He went door to door asking for donations. He and his team prayed. Like there's a story in the DVD where the kids were all sitting at the table and the wife comes out and says, George, we don't have anything to feed the kids this morning. And George looked at the kids and go, okay, children, so what do we do? So they all sat down and they prayed and they said, Father God, thank you for this food. Next thing you know, a milko has broken out the front and says, my truck's broken down. Do you need some milk? And the next thing you know, a baker walks up and knocks on the door and says, I got woken up and I felt like you needed some bread. I just really felt like you needed some bread. And he brought a whole huge amount of bread for the kids to eat. I mean, George didn't ask anybody but God. It's inspiring. So what happened when there was no food for the children's breakfast? Oops, spoiler alert. The children skipped that meal and had to have soup for lunch. No. George thanked God and the milk and bread arrived at the door. Oops, I already told you that one, didn't I? The children went to the market to beg for food. No, George thanked God for them and the milk and the bread arrived. Besides food and clothing, what did the children at the orphanage receive? An education and Bible training, pets to take care of in order to learn responsibility, video games. Yeah, they got video games. No, they didn't. They got education and a Bible training. What happened when George needed more space for the orphans? He prayed. God provided funds to buy the land and build a larger orphanage. George prayed and God provided the funds for the land and a larger orphanage. I think we might go with that one. Yay! 6 out of 6. I'm doing well. I got the Harriet Tubman one all right too. I think I've watched these DVDs a lot. I mean, I've had them for a long time, and Matthew absolutely loves them. Matthew's my 11-year-old. Design of the Earth is an amazing construction within our solar system. It's an artwork for the human eye compared to other planets. Perfect elliptical placement. Yeah, God doesn't make junk. And we're not junk either. You're not junk. None of you are junk. God only makes good stuff. This. Yeah, billions of life forms supporting an ecosystem to support it. This is not random. No, it's not random. I mean, no, it's not random. There has to be some sort of design. There are too many things that just fit into place. You can't just throw ingredients up in the air and have a magnificent cake be created. I mean, look at Silhouette Park Farms channel. It's actually her Annette Kilpatrick channel. She has got some amazing cakes, and I guarantee you, she did not pick up that flour and that egg and that sugar and throw it in the air, and a cake magically appeared. No. She designed it. She made it. Yes. It's interesting. She approaches the universe is an incredible and truly beauty we may never really understand, and then we end up being ultra concerned over the smallest things. Yeah, you're not alone there, CG. Not alone at all. Yeah, so got some more colouring in pages here for George Mueller, and then you've got Maze, and you've got this. So you got the download student book again, and again this one's got 21 pages, but George Mueller's inspiring. If you've got financial stress, watch the George Mueller video. Pardon me. It is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it's got in here, you got dig into the story, paper house invitation, dig deeper, prayed and provided, story mix up. See, it's got, so it goes into some really good detail for the older kids. Oh, look at that. You guys can't see what I'm looking at. I'm on the wrong screen again. I hate it when it does that. Oh, dear. Yep, totally on point. Okay, so now you can see what I'm looking at. My goodness. So there's 21 pages in this little kids activity book. I mean, look at that. What a lovely artwork. So you got the table of content. Hi, Chris Clevercraft. Thanks for joining us. We're looking at some kids activities, some educational entertainment through the Torchlighters series. It's a fantastic series. It's basically based on biographies of martyrs of the faith. So yeah, good fun. And these little workbooklets are actually free that you can download straight from the Torchlighters website. And I'll leave links in the description for all of this stuff. So you got some information on what life in the workhouse is like. And I think this is really important for kids to learn about this stuff so that they know the difference between what they've got now and what the conditions were hundreds of years ago. And there are still people that are living in situations like this as well. It's like we were looking at the Harriet Tubman stories earlier, and it goes into the modern day slavery stuff as well as what it was like for Harriet Tubman when she actually helped all the slaves escape. So yeah, you got bone crushing, stone breaking. Sounds like a book that a boy would really like, wouldn't it? So then you got some craft activities on how to build a paper house. Then you got dig into the story. So questions, what happened to Charlie? And kids get to answer these questions. So it's just really, really interesting, and it's fantastic. Jandera, you asked for help financially for a better life. I waited for an answer. We constructed the Wikishia project to relieve our burden and go back to the basics, growing and enjoying life. Yeah, and it's interesting when you ask for financial help and for things like that, you don't necessarily get what you ask for. But I found when you pray and you ask God for help on something, there are, what is it? I think there's 4 different answers you can come up with. So sometimes he'll say yes. He does do that. He says yes. Sometimes he says no. But usually when he says no, there's a really good reason. And it's either a wait, so not yet, or I have a better idea. And I found he usually always has a better idea. And I love the better ideas that he comes up with because they're always way better than mine. And it helps. I mean, when he says no, a lot of times he's actually taking something out of your life that you really didn't need. But that's a totally different story. Anyway, see, Nightbot's not actually a person. Nightbot is a automated program. I like Nightbot. I might have to do a tutorial video on how to use Nightbot. I've only just found Nightbot, so it's a new toy. Yes, I don't fully know how to use it, but I've figured out how to get it to say things like, please hit the subscribe button. And I can do things like, what can I put in? I can put that in, and in a couple of seconds, Silhouette Park Farms link will come up. I really am entertained quite easily sometimes. But back to the Torchlighters. If anyone wants to come up and join me, I'll put the link down again. More than welcome. And if you've got any questions on the Torchlighter series, because I mean, I love this series and I could talk about it for hours and hours and hours, which is not a good idea. I've only got 20 hours of free streaming time. So it's got a lot of information, so you can go into it quite deep. And then you've got the simpler stuff for the younger kids too, so it's not just for the older kids. So this one little booklet, you could have kids of multiple ages doing different aspects of it. So this is a story mixed up bit where you have to say what order of the story these things happened in. Then adopted through Christ interviews. So it's got a lot of orphan care project. Interesting. I've got to download this for Matthew. I've been a bit slack on these things lately. He tends to just watch the DVD. Escape the Workhouse Maze. Oh, kids love the mazes, don't they? Dwelling place collage. So it's got some art and craft ideas as well. I think I may have found something for me and the kids to do during the holidays. Because my boys would love this. They love art and crafty type stuff. Oh, decode the quote. Matthew would love this. Got to figure out what the quote is. They use the key below to decode the following quotation from George Mueller. Jandera, the answer was loud and direct. My head was focused on learning how to be more self-reliant and to provide better, healthier, rewarding life. That's great, Billy. It really is. And I love the Wikishia project. Your channel is awesome. And I'm really glad you repeatedly encouraged me to actually check on the fish and actually get them above the water, because it was really, really interesting to actually see how much they've actually grown, because I only got them back in February, I think it was, beginning of February. So they're 2 months old? And they've grown quite substantially. Yeah, Gail, it's really quite good. And there's a lot of it. I mean, you can buy the DVDs. The DVDs are available for purchase, and there is a lot more on the DVDs. Like I was having a look through, and the full episodes on the YouTube channel aren't completely the full episode. So the Perpetua story, it doesn't actually show Perpetua and her and the other martyrs being attacked by the wild animals. So it does stop it before that. So I'm not sure how much of the other programs actually affect that. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think even high school kids might enjoy it. The DVDs are better than the actual videos because at the end of the DVDs, and at the end of the DVDs, they actually have like a documentary style where it actually has real footage of information about the person's life or information about the actual person or video of the person. Some of them are actually still alive. And you can actually, so Vision Video, so there's heaps of stuff on the website. I could go through that for hours. But Vision Video have a lot of stuff on their YouTube channel. And I'm pretty sure I've got that link in the description, but I'll pop the link there in the chat. They've got a lot of things on their YouTube channel. So you could go in here and type up George Mueller. I've probably spelled that wrong. Yeah, I did. Oh dear, don't look at my spelling. My spelling's atrocious sometimes. I know. I'll go copy and paste it from the website. You can't see what I'm doing at the moment. I could have been doing this and you wouldn't have known. And I went and told you. Oh dear. Let's see if this works. Because my spelling is so challenging. If that brings it up. There you go. So they've got stuff that's for older kids as well as adults. They've got a lot of different things on here. Oh, and they've actually got Gladys Alwood is amazing. Wow. Honestly, some of these people on here just really inspire me. But so this is the trailer for the George Mueller story. Oh, I've turned the sound off. I can't get it copyright free. I might have to do a tutorial on that.
I've got another one!
What's this? The newbie?
Name's William.
Ah, Billy.
William!
Any parents, Billy?
Me mum, but she died last week.
And you've been left all by yourself.
Been fine in the streets till them coppers turned me over to him. Said I'm a
Vagrant, a street boy. You see, Billy, people don't want orphans like you crowding their nice city streets. So you know what they did? They made this for you. The workhouse. You'll never have to be out in them streets again. Welcome to your new home, Billy boy. And you best get used to it. Because there ain't no place else for orphans like you. No place else at all.
Help! Somebody! Please, help!
Yeah, so that's the trailer for George Mueller. And the Wikishare Project says that he loves jade perch. Aquaponics is something he'd love and enjoy once they're on their own personal unrestricted property. You have ideas, a multitude of ideas that won't stop flooding in. And Billy, I'm on my own property that I own. There are still restrictions because the council and the state government and the federal government all have lovely restrictions for different things. And at the moment, I have physical restrictions, as well as the whiplash and all that sort of stuff. But there are always restrictions that you have to find ways around. And you work with what you've got. Work with what you can. And trust that God's got a plan. And know that He is going to work through it and help you to actually get to the point where you want to be. That's like, I'm sure while Noah was building the ark, that would have been really challenging. And I mean, what about Joseph? I'm sure while he was in the jail cell, that's not what he thought was going to be happening with his life when he had the dream about his brothers and that bending down to him. But it still came to pass. We have to trust that. You might have to start a live sometime and try it out. I should do a video, shouldn't I? I could do that while I'm actually live at the moment, couldn't I? Assuming I don't break my computer and it goes, ah, what are you doing to me? Let's see if I can do that. The Citizen Guardian, you want to be able to share videos of small channels. Yeah, it's fun being able to do that, actually. Once you're established, you can open a box and construct something wonderful. We just have to wait. I'm not allowed to keep this idea to myself. It has to be shared with others. Absolutely. Share your ideas with others. Always happy for ideas to be shared. Okay, so there's the link if anyone wants to come up to this live again. Let's see if I can get this. Look at that. Okay. So, good morning, everyone. So I'm going to go through and do a bit of a tutorial on how to do a couple of things on StreamYard. So first, you want to know how to invite people. So you get your little StreamYard link there, and you click on that, and you put it in your chat, and copy and paste it, and then people can come up and join your chat if they want to, and they can come up in your basement area. You just got to be careful sometimes when they come down here and you miss them. If you want to put somebody's chat up on their comment up, you can just click on that and it brings it up. So CG is saying, in Gail's Southern Living, you're by far one of the nicest people I've come across in our community. Thank you for helping others. And CG, I agree wholeheartedly. Gail is awesome. Love Gail to bits. Okay, so the Wikishare project wants to come up and check on things. Wants to be live. Billy, it's all good. I actually suspect that I'm probably on the spectrum as well. And being on the spectrum is not a bad thing. I've never been diagnosed though. So any case, so if you're wanting to share your screen, at the moment I'm sharing my screen. So I'm going to remove that out. So I'm no longer sharing my screen. So at the moment, this is actually what my computer is doing. So I'm not using my camera on my computer. I'm using the video camera on my mobile phone. So it's a completely separate stream. So if you wanted to share your screen, I'll just stop that screen share. I'm hoping everything's still working. I may have forgotten to hit record, and I bet I did. I don't remember. How bad is that? Oh, man, I did. I forgot to hit record. Jeez, I am having one of those nights. It's all good. Let's try that again, Sam. Sorry, guys. I'm practicing on you, aren't I? You know what the problem is? This screen isn't going to work. Not on the other screen. This is the challenge of having multiple computer screens. Sorry. You're welcome to come up if you want to, Billy. My goodness. I'm a bit of a worry sometimes. Okay. So I'm going to try this whole tutorial on how to do the live stream thingy again. Although now I'm having trouble seeing the chat because it's on a smaller. Let's just zoom in a bit more. There we go. That's a bit good, better. Hope God's light shines through me. So do I, Gail. So do I. And CG is just lovely. I'm actually really loving the entire community. You guys are just fantastic. Now, back to me trying to do an actual tutorial on how to do this. You'll be able to see it once I actually get it working. My goodness. And you'll know, oh, wow, she did that live while we were in the chat, which may not be that exciting, really. Anyway, so, okay, it's about to start. Good evening, everyone. So I'm going to be doing a bit of a tutorial on how to do a few things in StreamYard when you're doing a live chat. So if you want to pop up somebody's chat on your screen, you basically can just click on that and it comes up and you can see someone's chat. If you want to change your banners, oh, that can't see that very well, can you? Because it's gone off the screen. Oh dear. Oh dear. I didn't quite make my screen large enough, did I? Ah, the challenge. It's a challenge. Okay, so if you want to change your banner, you can come over into the banner section. I've got all sorts of interesting banners. Oh, look, I can put Citizen Guardian up there. There's Citizen Guardian's YouTube channel. So you can create banners and go, hello world. And then you click add. And then you just put the banner up. And it says, hello world. Yay! It's a bit boring, really, isn't it? Or do you want that banner to, let's edit that one and we'll make that one a scrolling one, like my Easter one. There we go. Hello world. Oh my goodness. I'm a little bit easily amused sometimes. Oh, and now if you're wanting to add someone to your stream, I will demonstrate that now, courtesy of Ricochet Project helping me. So you just copy that invite link to your thing and you pop it in the comment section and you hit chat. And then when they come into your basement, so this is your basement section, you click add to stream. Hello, Billy. How are you?
Good morning.
You're
You
part
hear
of the
me good?
tutorial. I can hear you lovely. So now we've got Billy in the stream as well. It's a good idea to wear headphones if you're in a stream because that way you don't have to worry about echoing. Now, what else was I doing? Oh, screen share. That's right. So if you wanted to screen share, sorry, Billy, you can't see what I'm doing. So you click on the little screen share button, you click share your screen, and then it gives you the option as to whether or not you want to share what you're actually working on. So you can either share the screen that you're working on or you can share application windows. And as you can see, I've got 1,001 things open. Oh, wouldn't do that, would I? I've always got 1,000 things running. So I'll click on that and you need to make sure you share audio if you're wanting to share the audio. That is a really important trick, especially if you're wanting to share videos, which is what Gail was saying she was wanting to do. So I can click share on that. And so you click the little share audio button and you click share and then it runs away and you really confuse yourself and you lose your StreamYard. Oh no! Where is my StreamYard gone? So now that's up on the window. So you can now see the video and play the video and all that sort of stuff. Not that that video had much left of it. This is probably a little bit boring.
Jules Gardner does this. He plays jazz music. He pops this stuff up when he plays his music.
Aha! So now you've got it on the screen. You can change how big it is. You can do that. Or you can take it out completely. Or you can full screen it like that. But I'm finished playing with that stuff now. So that's basically the end of the tutorial. If you've got any questions, leave the comments, questions or suggestions. Have a great one. Okay, that's done now. Thank you guys for being so patient. So what ideas have you got, Billy, for your aquaponics?
How do I even start? 10 years ago plus, wasn't about money. I did something wrong. I asked, and this is a lesson for me. And everyone asks once in a while. They ask, and I said, I really want $1 million. There's a catch. I'd like to hit for $1 million. I just want $1 million. Just, in my head, if you're really there, I'm not being greedy, by the way. This is a really weird thing. Like I said, it's hard to explain. So yeah, I hit the lottery for $1 million about 2.5 years later. When you ask for things, you have to be really honest with yourself, and you can't come from a greedy position. Okay. Won't go into too much detail, but you really need to fill out. You need to fill out the question when you ask for something, and when you ask that question, you have to have a pure heart. You have to have a pure mind on why. If you include greed into this, okay, you won't even see. It won't get in. You won't come. Again, I asked. I was being dead honest about it. I had good intentions, and I got the $1 million. I did something wrong. I got married, not in love. I got it in divorce. So it all kind of moved away. I was like, okay, it's just a chapter of my life. Again, it was like, so I was like, again, it's hard to explain. It's like I asked for something and I received it. I was like, it took 2.5, 3 years to get it. And I'm not saying because anyone asked, they're gonna get $1 million, but I was dead set. I'm like, if you're up there, give me $1 million. She, I'm not good with religion either, but I know that there's something powerful. I understand I get how the universe works, and I know it's not random, and it's so complicatedly beautiful. I think I try to put that in chat, my ideas. So you asked, thou shalt receive, and got it, and it went away because it was my life didn't go according to how I received the money, and it just got swept out, and I was given a slate, a clean slate, and the clean slate was just nothing. So I moved in my car in the middle of winter with no money, sleeping in a vehicle in the middle of the winter. Found my wife. We married, we had kids, and again I asked, because I don't know the rules. I don't know the rules how many times you can ask. And I was like, all right, if I asked for $1 million and I got it, right, obviously, what's the chance? What are the chances you get this, right? What are the chances?
Well, someone's got to win.
So,
and sometimes winning isn't a blessing. Sometimes getting the right what you want isn't
like,
a
okay,
blessing.
When I had that money, I wasn't happy. Wasn't happy. So don't ever think money's going to make you happy. It didn't. I had all the money that I could ever want, and I did nothing with it. And when it came in, I wasn't excited about it. I was like, oh, there it is. And then when it went out, I was like, oh, okay, there it goes. I was like, obviously the $1 million wasn't meant to make me happy. It was to show me that it was a brutal lesson. It was a brutal lesson. It was like, all right, here's your $1 million. Now, are you happy? No. I thought money was an answer. It was not an answer. Money came in, money went out. Is this making sense? Starting to make sense slowly? I'm trying to get this out. Help me out here. Put the words in my head again. So, after that financial situation was up, like, are you ready for true love? I'm like, well, yeah, I would. But there's one person I met when I was younger, and my heart was set on her. And it's a lottery. It would be astronomical for me to meet her and for me to get married to her. It's never going to happen. How can you ask for the lottery and hit the money, then ask for the love of your life and then get that? But I was being serious. I was like, if you give me, now I'm getting greedy. Now I'm getting greedy. I'm like, if you give me this, if you give me this, I'll do what you want. because I'm hard-headed. I'm like, I'm not going to church. I'm not listening to you. I'm not cracking a Bible. I'm not doing any of that stuff. You got to prove to me you're up there. And proof is, the proof is being slapped in my face whenever I ask. It's like, you really want to test me? Yeah, I'll question you. I remember what happened the last one that questioned him. What happened to him? I get it. But I'm not trying to take over. I just need, in my heart, because my autism in my heart, the hardness in here, it's hard to crack this egg, you know? You can laugh at this, and I don't mean this in a weird or terrible way, but I go kicking, screaming into a church, you know? I was like, I need proof. You can't just get me in there and I'm going to talk to nothing. I need proof. But I'm allowed to believe in my own special way, as long as I'm being open and honest. So I can communicate. I get when people, oh, you think you can hear? I don't hear anything. But the flood of information and the chances and things that happen in my life are not chance. It's just not random. It's not random. And again, I say this: if you're going to ask, you really got to believe in what you're saying, and you have to be clear, and you got to be honest with yourself, and you got to be honest. You got to be honest. Honest. It's just it has to be so pure and so clean, your intentions, if you want things to happen, and they don't happen right away. I'm waiting for a gift package to drop on my desk and be like, oh, there it is. And I open it and be like, wow, that was great. No, it doesn't work that way.
4 possible answers.
It's a very complicated world. Yeah.
4 possible
it's a very
answers to every
complicated world we live
question.
in. So
You can get yeses,
half of the money
you
got
can
it.
get no's, you can get waits, and you can get, I've got a better idea.
Yeah, I got a no. I got a you can't keep this money kind of deal. It just came in and went out. But so I got the money and was told that it like here's $1 million. Are you happy? No, wasn't the answer.
Nope.
But anybody in their right mind would be like, no, this is the answer. If you have that, you can build off this. It was my situation. I was in a bad situation. I got married for the wrong reasons, and it was swept out, gone. Now I got a clean slate. Me being greedy, I'm like, give me love of my life, just please. What are the chances I can find? I'm with her. I'm married. I got kids. I'm sitting back. I'm thinking in my head. I'm like, that's 2. It's 2 of them. I was like, okay. Now I'm working. Many years start to go by, and I'm thinking in my head. I was like, okay. So what is the answer? I need help. Help me financially dig myself out of the 9 to 5, no retirement, what the world wants me to do. You understand what this is what the world wants me to do. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? You, not this. So I'm taking the world and shoving it aside. I was like, great, I got the experience. I see how it works. That's great. What do you want me to do? And as you see on my logo down here, the Wickershire Project. I came up with a wonderful name. People say, oh, how'd you ever come up with that name? I didn't design that name. I was given that name. That name came into my head, and I'm like, this is a name that is interesting, that will catch eyes.
It is interesting.
And it works. And I'm like, okay. And when I say it, the Wickershire Project, I was like, okay, it's got a good ring to it. I was like, it's catchy, So moving down the road, I'm asking for help. Can you financially free me? If money's not the answer, can you financially free me? And the thing is I have to walk away from the world. I have to give up the credit cards. I have to give up the 9 to 5. I have to give up the anger. I have to give up frustration. I have to give up me believing that I'm always going to suffer. But I'm also known that if I'm to have success, I was told I need to suffer along the way. Just to remind me that I must appreciate everything that I'm given. Again, I get nervous on here because I don't want to say anything wrong that might offend anybody. If I do, that's just the way I am. That's how I'm designed. The Wickershire Project is basically not to work yourself to the bone and drop dead because you can't take it with you. It's just I'm allowed to enjoy life. So the answer was, go get unrestricted land, build yourself a little shed to house, tiny home conversion. It's going to be inexpensive. I was taught through myself, I had to go and learn all this stuff. It wasn't just going to pop up on a piece of land and I could just walk on there and be like, oh, there's the gift. There it all is. I asked for it. I got it. No, you got to learn. If you're going to ask for something, you have to put your mind to it and you got to learn. This is where the mind comes in. That's the gift. The gift is up here. Yep. Being told you want it, you're gonna use it. I put it in there for you. I gave you the ability to think and know things. Unlock it, Billy. That's all I kept being told. Unlock it. It's here. I'll help you. I'll bump you along. But you have to be willing. You have to be willing to learn. I was like, so I learned about insulation. I learned about hex piping. I learned about plumbing. I learned about electricity, Ohm's law. I don't want to learn about Ohm's law. But I learned all this stuff. Learned about aquaponics, and that's why I love you. I love aquaponics. It's amazing. So it's not random that you and I meet. You're an aquaponics person. This is You're not just about aquaponics, but it's an inspirational to see that
piece of the puzzle.
It's the little pieces in the puzzle. Like she does this. This woman here, this wonderful woman here, grows food. I love growing food. It's amazing. One piece of fruit, one seed, right? Oh, when you crack open that fruit, how many seeds are inside for you to be blessed with?
Yep.
Many. That's the one you can. It's not for you. It's to feed others. It's it's abundance.
Blessed to be a blessing.
Wow. Anyways, I'm financially set. Everything in my head I had to take 10 years to develop, and how to go on unrestricted land. And I asked, can you swipe my bills away? So I had to learn about solar. It's like, you don't want an electricity bill? No. All right, you're gonna learn about solar. Really? Did college class, and it takes electrical engineering and stuff. And well, you're autistic. Use your autism and suck it all in. I learned about solar. I learned about rainwater. I learned about super insulating a house. Why? That way, that house, when I build that house, it takes the minimal to cool it and the minimal to heat it. And I'm not using the world designed by man. I'm using God's design with natural stasis, the natural heating of the earth and sunlight with technology, because this is the modern day. So I'm incorporating old world and new world ideas so that I'm self-reliant, self-efficient. And the only thing I can't shake a land tax. But I don't have a mortgage. I don't have an electricity bill. I don't have a food bill. Everything's being provided by me, by him, into a great, wonderful, self-sustainable idea. And that is the name, the Wickershire Project. Again, we're suffering because we want the land for ourselves, private. We want to get going and explore. And I can't keep the information for myself. I have to share it with others. So I'm going to stop there. Yeah. I think you got an idea what the Wickershire Project is about. Even though I got my answers, I'm not allowed to keep it. I have to share it with everybody. Thus, I'm on YouTube and I'm documenting everything. And I'm pretty goofy along the way doing it. So it's got to be fun.
You got to keep life interesting.
So that's the whole relationship up there with me and. Any questions? There are no. For me, I have a design. For me, I have a design, and it was laid out, and I got to follow it. Chris, I think your flour, sugar, water helped mix get the compost ignited. We was so cold, it knocked out the bio load inside the little tiny compost pile I had. Stripped it out, just frost everywhere. Heartbreaking. No, it's just sugar water, Chris. No specific ratio.
And of course, how to put it? Billy juice. Although there was no evidence of that, was there?
It was a joke. It was a joke.
Hey, it's a good fertilizer.
Well, yeah, I'm always messing around. Yeah, it's stuck in my head, and I thought it would be funny, and I was like, oh, let's put that on there. And usually when I do that, I saw the first thumbs down. I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Someone's like, yeah, thumbs down the video. So,
They say if you're on YouTube and you haven't had a thumbs down yet, you're not a YouTuber yet.
right, you got to get them. It's good for balance. It keeps the channel alive. I said it last night. I said it last night in the live. You can have 100 views. You can have 50 thumbs up, but YouTube's algorithm loves when you get a thumbs down. So if I don't get one, I'll jump on my other channel and give myself a thumbs down. I'm like, there it is. I get it. Now we're controversial. There must be something good going on.
So Wild Edibles loves aquaponics. They have goldfish and trying out more plants in the system. Cool. I'm a big fan of using fish.
Yep.
Very
so goldfish are of the carp family, part of the carp family. They are cold water species. Great, not awesome for the subtropics. You don't want to keep them in like Louisiana hot water. So if you're a little bit on the cooler side, we're in Virginia, Boston, Canada. You know, these cooler. Yeah, the cooler the better. Goldfish are a heavy-bodied species. They produce a lot of urine from their gills. You can't overcrowd them.
They breed.
And yeah, they'll breed up there, and they're omnivorous. They're mostly vegetarian, but they're omnivorous. They'll eat just about anything, but mostly plant and decaying plant matter and stuff.
Oh,
so yeah,
hi,
heavily
Monty's in
plant.
motion. Sorry, I didn't say hello before. Yeah, I don't want to have goldfish because I don't really think I could eat a goldfish. I definitely like the jade perch better.
Yeah, goldfish are an ornamental species.
Yeah,
okay? And
I don't think they're really edible.
Carp are a bottom feeding, and you could eat them. There's so many more better choices than eating carp. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Like most bottom dwelling fish that feed off the bottom, they're gonna taste like what they eat. It's survival food.
I think I'd rather eat my spinach.
So Jim,
looking into.
I was talking. See, this is what's hard about having someone autism. I just blurt stuff.
That's all good.
Human beings designed. We're omnivorous. In hard times, being an omnivore, you're allowed to slide off the path and eat meat. In hard times, your teeth can help out. But I guess tell people like you're an omnivore, which means you're not a carnivore. Okay.
No.
Omnivore, you must eat plant material as the bulk of your life. That is what you're designed to do. And yes, you're an omnivorous. So we're given the capability in survival mode because the world is not perfect for everything. You have ups and downs. It's just the design. And being an omnivore, you can eat meat once in a while, but you shouldn't. I know people joke, oh, I love barbecue, and easy on the animals, just easy on the animals. You are an omnivore. You're designed to eat mostly your fruits and vegetables and nuts. That's what it is.
Little Homestead.
Hope I'm making sense here to people.
Monty in Motion is finding it entertaining about the thumbs down. I'm thinking about wondering about how that'll actually affect it.
You want them.
I might have to do an experiment.
If you got 10,000 likes, it's suspicious. It's suspicious. You should get at least a handful of thumbs down. You should. And again, it's YouTube's algorithm. It's how it's designed. So when I get a thumbs down, I'm like, good. I got controversy here. Gets people motivated. Now, what am I talking about? I have no clue.
Who knows? On the solar panels, though, my husband's actually looking into alternative forms of method of electricity production. So not just solar, but he's looking into wind options, so wind power stuff, especially for getting water from the dam. And what was the other one?
I'll go through them with you.
Stirling engine. He's looking into Stirling engines.
Oh, look. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
You gonna with the
I
fire?
play with the aquaponics.
Is the Stirling engine's fire? It runs off of steam. You start a fire, put water in it.
No. It's different temperatures. So one side's got to be hotter than the other. And the greater the variant in temperature, the quicker it moves.
Ah, okay. I have heard of Stirling engines. Now I'm going to be
he's wanting to play with Stirling engines. But hopefully we're getting our solar system installed in like 2 days. We've only been waiting forever. It feels like forever. They had some challenges when they tried to install it.
Alternate energy is a big topic of the Wickershire project, and obviously I had to learn all forms of it. Who wants to do that? And Ohm's law. I had to learn electricity and Ohm's law. So I studied solar panels, inverters, how inverters work, what type of inverters there are. I studied battery chemistry, how battery chemistry works, how long battery chemistries last, how much battery chemistries are worth. So I know batteries cost, what they're made out of, how they work.
Batteries have other challenges as well, because they've got a limited life expectancy, and they've got a lot of very nasty heavy metals in there that don't recycle nicely.
Correct.
So it's a problem.
California?
Batteries are a big problem. But yeah, using the hydro as a battery is a good option. So if you use the solar power to pump the water up, and then have the water coming down using the hydropower as the water comes down, then that's your backup battery. But
you're double. So you use solar to pump, and as the water comes down, spins a turbine and create another form of electricity. So you're trying to minimize your loss. Yeah, you outsmarted me. I didn't even think of that one. I like that idea. This is why we're friends.
You use the hydro as a bit of a power battery. So you pump up the water into a tank when you've got the power during the day, and then you use the hydropower at night.
Power at night. That's awesome.
That's an option.
That's a great idea. Why didn't you tell me about these things? I learned that.
You just did learn that.
Just did, right?
Yeah.
I thought nobody could teach me anything on alternate energy, and you just learn that one, Billy. Yeah, right off the top of my head.
See, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
That was great. So the idea on alternate energy is, and I went over with people that are much, much smarter than me. I think I have an IQ rating somewhere of 121, somewhere in there. I thought I was 118. Apparently, I'm a little bit higher, which means I'm not a genius. Yeah, but I'm smart. Great. I like that.
Yeah. Hubby's up in the genius category somewhere, but he's irritating socially.
But we learned that solar power, the sun comes up, think about this, for alternate energy, solar panels. The sun comes up every single day. You're always going to get power. You're going to have a couple of days of clouds. And depending on where you live, you might have some snow days. And if you live in Scotland, move out, because it's just nothing but rain and darkness. Nobody should. I'm a McAllister. I'm Scottish. Nobody should live in Scotland. So solar power has no moving parts. And don't get technical with me on that photons from the sun move. Yeah, I get that there are moving parts, but as a structure.
Technically, there are a lot of electrons moving around, but we won't go there.
But as a structure, solar is very cheap, and it's functional.
Savage. Do we know Mike the Caveman Savage? Wild Edibles, that's not you, is it? That's a different Mike the Caveman. Hi, Mike the Caveman Savage. And there was somebody else that came in.
Pete.
Yeah, because we got Mike the Caveman as well. Hey, I've got two Mike the Cavemen. Wow. That just confused me. I got confused between Wild Edibles. Did you see this one Wickershire project from Citizen Guardian? Are you aware of what happened in Germany when they tried to mass scale solar usage? I think we may be close to correcting some errors made. They're having horrible problems here in South Australia because so much of South Australia is actually solar powered now. They're actually having to turn people off at certain times because the grid can't handle it, and then they have major problems when there's too much rain. Yes, Monty, I'm very excited my solar's coming in soon. Very excited.
You just need a smart system. Everybody's house needs a smart system. Basically, it'll feed to the grid, but once a certain energy is made, it needs to shut off. Basically, and you use your own power, and you don't send any power to the grid. So it's weird that you're saying they're overproducing power. That can happen. You keep adding solar panels and keep going. You can produce a lot of power, and those electrical lines can only handle so much voltage in amps. That's interesting.
And they're just having major problems with the grid. I think the grid's too old and they didn't look after it properly.
It's too old. Yeah, it's too old. Do you know how you cure that? If you have a committee that is absolutely sure of the power production, you can make smaller grids.
Yeah, and see, when you're talking about solar energy, you can't be exactly 100% certain on the production because is it going to be a cloudy day? Is it going to be too hot? Like in Australia, we have problems with the solar panels getting too hot. So when the solar panels are too hot, they don't produce as much energy.
Power goes down. Yeah, the power goes down.
It's fascinating.
Nobody knows that. So in cold weather, the voltage goes up. Oh, so let's say you have a 100-volt panel, a 100-volt panel, and I know you do Celsius, right? Because I'm an American and we only do Fahrenheit. We're the weirdos of the world.
You guys confuse me.
Yeah, America's the weirdos of the world. Oh, Fahrenheit. You're like, why don't you just do it? Everybody else doesn't use metric. I was like, because we're not going to be told what to do. You know.
Hi, Mike. Doing well. Although it is 12:30 in the morning, so I really probably should be in bed. But everybody's on, and I'm awake. And Wild Edibles on Mike the Caveman has just said that Mike for real found me. That's funny.
People would talk about wind power, Gendera. Wind power as another secondary alternate energy. Wind power is great, but you need wind. And because the idea upon this is because it has mechanical moving parts, is that it can break down and then you got to replace it. And it's too costly if that ever happens. So my friend said, why don't, if you need more power, just add more solar panels. And I was like, man, okay.
It's a challenge. I'm not sure what the best answer is.
Minimalism.
But it's
not being so greedy with power. Minimalism is the answer.
There actually is something that would be lost if we switched. Our number system has codes and patterns in it. Actually, there's a lot of advantages to having a non-decimal based number system. And they've actually done studies on it that show that when you use the base 10 number system, your brain doesn't work as well as when you're using the base 12 system. And you guys, you have to count in threes. To the 3 foot is like our 1 meter. So I was watching someone today that was counting out their garden. It was one of the Shed Wars guys. I can't remember who it was now, but they were skip counting in threes as they were counting out their paddocks. Your brain actually works differently when you're not working with the decimal system.
Well, here's the weird thing. I use feet and all that stuff, but I also use meters and yards. So we use a mix of what most Americans do. You know, we do use metric and we do use standard. We use both of them. We're primarily based more on standard, but any American will use metric. The one thing we don't do is when we look at our gauge in our car, we always look at miles per hour. We never look at how many kilometers per hour are we going. You know, we never measure things in kilometers. We always in miles, because in our head we physically have an actual distance. We can picture that, the actual distance. Like we were taught it. So when I say a foot, immediately this size pops up. If I say a meter, I already know, metric meter's 3 feet. I know how big 3 feet is. I've got a general image in my head that I can rely on.
See, there are some things that I think of pounds and ounces. Like if you're talking about a baby's weight, I know what the normal weight is in pounds and ounces, but you tell me in grams, and I'm like, what? What's that in
Grams.
pounds?
But why do you use pounds and ounces? Why?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's really interesting. And I suspect
Yeah.
it's because of when the conversion happened that
It's more
that was
universal.
when our parents were all doing stuff. Because the conversion, they changed over from pounds and ounces to kilograms way before I was born. Well, not way before. I'm not sure exactly when that happened, but I've always used kilograms and grams. But my mum always used pounds and ounces. So I think it might be that whole generational thing that your mum taught you that, oh, a 6-pound baby,
I think
6 to 7, that's a good size. Oh, under 6. Oh, that's tiny. 9, you had a 9-pound baby. Oh, of course, I had a 9-pound 10 baby.
what
And
is
there's
stone
6
weight?
stone.
It's like 10 stones. I'm like, how a little stone, a pebble, a big stone? What's stone weight? I never learned that. I've always heard stone
No,
weight.
I don't get.
Oh, it weighs
No,
10 stones.
I don't know.
Anyone out
stone.
there know what stone weight is? Wikishard,
And
I have to ask you, are you a fan of Elon Musk? Complicated question. I like products and stuff that he does, but I don't trust them. Okay. Once you get rich and powerful, brain.
yeah. See,
Yeah.
money.
Again, I like.
I mean, and technically, it's not money that is the root of all evil. The Bible actually says it's the love of money that's the root of all evil.
However
So
it
money
works, I
itself
don't
is not the
trust
problem.
them. I don't know them, so I still don't trust them.
Not
But I like
everything
the
can
word.
fit nicely in pens.
I'm impressed
No.
with his creation and his design of
So Mike,
power and his company.
so Mike grew up with both parents told me one measurement and school another. Yeah. Well, it means
Yeah.
you get good at
Learn-
converting
learn
stuff.
both.
Yeah. I mean, really, I know from my schooling system, yes, I did a little bit of Japanese in grade 8 and I did a little bit of German in grade 8. But other than that, I speak English. Whereas people that can speak 6 languages, it's actually better for their brain development. Their brain works better when they can speak in more than one language.
What's the word for that? The person that speaks, 10, 12 languages. Is a word for that kind of a person.
Multilingual? I know bilingual
What is it
means you've
again?
got 2 languages. Is it
No,
multilingual?
buys too.
Yeah, buys
No.
2. So it might be multilingual.
It's on multilingual. There's an actual word for it, though.
There's an actual word?
Like it's
I'd have to
real
Google it.
specific. Yeah, there's a specific
Anyone in the
word.
chat
There's a
know?
specific, yeah, person that speaks multiple languages. What do you call them? It's a weird word, but it's cool. It's a weird word. These people
Now, if
speak
anyone else wants
German,
to come up,
Swedish, Tagalog, Japanese.
yeah. I mean, and there's a lot of countries where you have to speak multiple languages because there's like 20 different dialects within a kilometer or something. No, I don't know. It's
China.
interesting.
China doesn't have. They don't just speak Chinese. No, there's Mandarin.
No.
There's so many languages in China. There really is. Just in,
Yeah.
in the different sections of the country, it's all different. It's just different.
Interesting.
Out of the 8 of us on here, nobody knows what the can't Google it for me.
No one's
Multiple language.
Googling it. Mike says it's multi.
Multilinguist.
Multilingual sounds right. Could be multilinguist.
That's a generic term. There's a name for them.
I think it's multilinguist.
Again, that's a generic name for them.
Yeah. Multilingular. Polylingual. Oh, it's been a quiz. Hello. Oh my goodness. That was really loud, wasn't it? Sorry, I apologize if I deafened anyone. I just got really excited.
I got it. It's a polyglot.
A polyglot. Oh, Chris
Right?
said it too.
Chris, you. That's it. That's the word. That's the word. I told you. I get that you said monthly linguist, but polyglot is the name. Listen, you win 50 Wikishire points. Spend them at your leisure. Congrats.
So English and French there in Canada. We had a hard enough time with English. It's a challenge. English is just a total mix of so many different languages. It's not funny.
For other countries that don't speak English, when they learn English, they're like, "Why is everything so complex? Why is it so hard?" I was like, "Because it's a cluster of Latin
And it
and
is.
all other languages mixed up in one. We stole everything. We just kind of mixed it all, you know."
It's a mongrel language. That's all there is to it.
All it is. Yeah.
Homestead Aquarius says that's a weird word.
But Robert snuck in here. Morning, sir.
So a polyglot is reserved for a person who can speak every language, you believe.
They have the potential to learn every language. They have the potential to learn every language. Their brains allow them to just learn them. And those people learn quick. Polygots learn quick.
They've got to be on the spectrum. To be a polyglot, you'd have to be on the spectrum.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because the memory of retention of structure. If you speak English, I go to the store, and another language would be to the store I go. So word it differently. It means the same.
Yeah. And some languages speak left to right, others go right to left, others go up and down. Yeah. I mean, it's like with programming languages. I mean, when I learned how to program, I learned how to program. So I just need to learn the semantics and the syntax of the different language, and then I can program in that language.
I had fun as a kid programming on the Apple IIc. I was able to make that ski game. It was great. I should have stuck with that. I would have been a millionaire by now as a programmer. I'd probably end up in jail too as a hacker.
Probably. See, God saved you from all of that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, totally. So many different slang and different spellings and meanings, rules, etc. It is so complicated, and every rule has an exception. What's the deal with that? I mean, I grant you it's a good lesson for life, because in life, there is an exception to every rule.
So wild edible, what is that eyeball on your?
That is a fantastic question.
It freaks me out. Ooh, what is?
Is it a lizard?
What is that? It's an eyeball.
It's not a cat.
It's gotta be. So, what is? You don't answer as long as just keep us in the dark. But that thing is. What is that?
It's something wild that could be edible. I'm sure it's not.
I would never eat anything looking at me like that. It looks reptilian in nature. It does. It looks reptile in nature. It's got like a chameleon kind of shape to it, like a chameleon's eye. Oh, put it back up. A snake's eye. Let's see if it is a snake's eye.
Oh, no, that was Homestead Aquarius.
Is that a snake's eye? No.
Chris thinks it's a snake's eye. Wild, you need to tell us. Is it a snake's eye? Is it a lizard? Is it a fish?
It has layers. Fish?
I don't think it's a frog.
No, not a frog. Homestead Aquarius has the frog. He's got the frog's eye.
Yeah. He's got the frog. It's a caterpillar. No. That's a caterpillar?
Are you serious?
How can you zoom in that close to a caterpillar?
Caterpillars have eyes? I thought just antennas. That's a caterpillar's eye?
Camera. Wow.
Who would ever guess that? Well, now you can say, well, if you're a friend of wild edibles, you'll know what the image is. I know, and you don't.
Oh, well, not edible, but a critter. I was going to change it, but I've had it for so long. Technically, I mean, the Aboriginals eat caterpillars. I heard it tastes like chicken, but I'm not going there.
What's that? What do you?
Oh, Wild says that it's not edible, but it's a critter. And technically, Aboriginals eat caterpillars, or are they witchetty grubs? No, they're witchetty grubs. I don't know. Oh, I don't think I would go there. There are some things I just can't go there.
Well, you didn't grow up eating it as a kid. You wouldn't know the difference.
No.
If it was the main dish in the house every day.
That's true. I mean, my kids with the aquaponics, they go past and they grab some celery. I still have to convince myself. That caterpillar has given you nightmares, Robin, has it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Caterpillar eye on its head that looks on the eye on its head to look like an eye to freak out birds. Okay. You learn something new every day. Well, we all now know what the eye is.
I know I've said it before. Robert's voice, Homestead Aquarius. Yeah, don't blush, Mr. Man and his Wilson. His voice he's got a golden voice. He's soothing to listen to. I'm like, if I'm ever successful and I write a book, I'm hiring him to read it on an audio.
That is such a good idea.
Audio read. Oh yeah, it's a great idea. He might not think so, but if I pay him enough money, he'll say, "Oh yes, this is a wonderful idea."
See, not necessarily.
He's got a great voice. He really does.
A lot of people won't do it for money. But you see, now if he believes in what you're doing, that's a different story.
Listen to her. Yeah. She's right. I know what she's. It's a good thing to do.
Now, if he doesn't believe in what you're doing, you haven't got a hope of paying him enough to do anything. But he has. He's got a golden voice. I love Homestead Aquarius' voice.
Great voice.
Nearly as much as I love his laugh. That belly laugh that he's got, I just absolutely love it. It warms me right to my feet.
Whiskey and smoke. Yeah. He's got a soothing voice. He's a soothing voice. So, Homestead Aquarius, you're going to reveal your face at 1 million subscribers, you said? That's something to look forward to. It was 1 million, right? You said about 1 million?
He's got a fair way to go to get to 1 million. You're going to have to be patient on that one.
Can happen.
Not and impossible. He might change the rules before he gets there.
That could happen too. It could be 2 million.
Mind you, I'm more than happy to help him get there.
Now, I said this would be my face, but we've changed the rules. And these are my feet. These are my toes.
Oh, no, we saw his boots in the last video. His boots were in the video.
Yeah, I don't have a deep enough voice to be manly. Unless I'm yelling up for my kids and I can't find them. When I shout, the neighbors like, we thought Godzilla was coming through the woods. How we thought you were in our backyard. How are you that loud? I was like, yeah, I opened up my chest and I let out and I was yelling for my kids. I was like, Nathan! And they come out so thunderous and big. My daughter jumped. She's like, well, how are you so loud? I was like, because I'm nervous. I can't find my child. What do you mean you never said that? I never did. Oh, contradictory. What did you say then? Oh, your voice, Daddy. So big.
No, that's the advantage of it being nearly 1 a.m. in the morning. My kids are asleep. And if my husband's lucky, he's still asleep. Otherwise, I'm being too noisy and I'm keeping him awake.
There's no wall behind me. This is just
a curtain.
Just a blanket.
So yes, Chris saw those boots. We saw the boots. Busted.
Oh, we're talking about Robert's boots, yeah.
Yes, we saw Robert's boots. And he wasn't kicking anyone up the butt either. Now there's the big question. Has everyone fixed their Shed Wars titles and their hashtags?
Doesn't need to be fixed. Shed Wars, colon, or Shed Wars 21, colon. Got to have the, and the 3 hashtags in there, into the description.
That's
Shed
right.
Wars, hashtag Shed Wars, hashtag Shed Wars 21. Hashtag, I don't know the third one. I know there's only two. Oh, Team Will It
Whatever your
Grow.
team is. Yes.
Team Woodcutter. Yeah, that's what it is.
Got to
I
get
know
them right.
everything.
And you got to make sure you have your location turned off on your video.
Or they don't pop up. Yeah, you can't.
Correct.
Why do you want to put your location up? Why people don't need to know where you live. That's private
Oh, heaps of
information.
people do. I mean,
Even though I
lots of
always
people at
say,
Shedwars do. I'm regularly commenting on someone's video saying you need to turn your location off so your hashtags show up.
Yeah.
And they're like,
you
oh,
don't.
is that why it's not working?
Yeah, pretty
They
much.
didn't know.
They should actually take out the location. Nobody. That's a private thing for YouTube. You need to protect people. Putting the location on there is not an ideal thing. That needs to come off.
Oh, you choose whether to put it in or not. So Chris has got to go to work by the looks of it. Got to start working on everything for the day. Love you guys. Have a great day or night sleep. Thanks for coming,
Yeah.
Chris. Have a great one.
You got that side of the world. You got this side of the world.
Of course, now that would sound so much better if you were actually saying it, Robert.
I can hear my kids singing outside. The walls are thin here.
Oh, are there people that still haven't fixed it, Robert?
Of course, people get goofy.
They've got until midnight tonight, don't they? For you guys, the countdown is on. That's sad. Wild Edible says she's checked and fixed everything, and I hope my eyes are crossed. And hang on, I hope my eyes are crossed. Eyed now. Team Woodchuck.
Now, when I do my video, I
right.
refer back to my first video, my actual Shed War video, not my introductory. Hey, this is Billy. I want to come join Shed Wars. Pick me. I promise you a whole la-di-da-di-da informative. Now, when I did my first real video, it came out perfect. I didn't get yelled at it. I looked at it, compared to other people's, all the team captains. It looked similar, and I was like, great. So anytime I make a new video, I go back, look at the old first one as a frame of reference, not the second, third, fourth, but the first one. It was successful, very successful, and I model it after that.
So Wild Edible says, fix your tags, Team Woodchuck. LOL. I didn't realize. Oh well. Other parts didn't match too. I actually went back and fixed all mine up. Actually, I had a couple in my first 3. I had the colon in the hashtags.
How many of us on a piece of paper write out a template, a channel template, Shed Wars 2021 : hashtag? How many of us write out a template and put it above our computer, or have it to open up the page as a frame of reference?
I copy and paste it from the previous video. I copy and paste stuff.
Yep.
Especially my description, because I've always got Will It Grow, Woodcutter, and Homestead Aquarius' links in my description as well. So I got a big long blurb in my description. So I copy and paste it.
How hard is that, really? Some people just are. The brain is so lazy they forget the colon or they forget the hashtag. They're just their brain. They write all their brains thinking of simplicity. I write Shed Wars and I'm done. That's their brain's not concerned about colons. And it's not normal.
In all fairness, Mark's last video, he actually put a hashtag in his title. He put hashtag Shed Wars 21
in the title.
In his title. So now, if Mark can make the mistake, anyone can make the mistake. But yeah, it's not complex. But some people don't realize that they're doing it wrong. So they think the information's not for them, so they don't actually listen to it. So to actually fix a problem, you've got to acknowledge the problem first. If you don't acknowledge you have a problem, or don't realize that you have a problem, you don't have a problem. You do, but you don't realize you have a problem, so you're not going to do anything about it.
I think if there was a video, I know there's videos made on the subject of how you label it and everything, but you need like one of those like 1960s school educational videos with the chalkboard, like, the Shed Wars 21. And now we add a colon here. It's just really simplified and old school, drawn out. And when you listen to John from Will It Grow and you hear that thick New England Portuguese accent, it throws everybody off. It really does.
Well, see, that's part of the reason why I actually made up the couple of videos that I did. I actually made videos giving complete step-by-step instructions how to do it.
And this was for the Southern Hemisphere, to reference.
Oh, it's just, no, well, actually, I've done it more for the Northern Hemisphere, actually, because you guys seem to be having so much trouble with it. I was just hoping somebody would see it.
It's so cold up here, our brains are frozen. We're slowly thawing out from the winter. Our brains are just, they're in slow mode.
I've also done up, like, a lot of people are like, they keep asking for the rules in writing. So I made the rules in writing. So this is my website. So we got the Shed Wars rules in writing.
Plant in a container on there?
Yep. One vegetable plant in a pot.
Yep. Listen, that's the first thing you grow, because you got to do your starter plants, right? You got to sow something. Grab a container and do your first couple of seeds in that and walk away. That part of the rule and videotape it. That part of that's done. Said, done, and forget it. Yeah. Hashtags. Yep.
Yeah, Robert, you have done heaps. Some people just try. Some people don't care. Other people. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, sir. I actually did this up ages ago. So this was back on, was it 23rd of January? when Will It Grow was actually, when John was saying the rules during his video, it was doing my head in, so I actually typed it out as he was saying it. I had to. My head couldn't compute. There was just so much randomness happening in it.
Later, Monty.
Thank you for coming, Monty in Motion. Have a lovely Easter, and it was lovely to have you here.
Now, for someone who's autistic, you know what the weird part of that being autistic is? I read it on the screen and I nodded. I answered it in my head. It's like, oh, I gotta go, guys. I'll see you later. My brain just kind of nodded. Okay. So for me to vocate, become vocal about it, it's hard for me because. But I'm learning to be more vocal and open. It's okay to let your emotions out. Say hi to somebody or bye to somebody.
Yeah, you got to open your mouth sometimes. My husband's not good at that.
But my head processes it faster than my mouth wants to say it. Now my head's too quick for it. It's part of my condition. I got yelled at work.
Hubby's just convinced that I don't let him get a word in edgewise. It's possible.
Yeah, I got
yelled
at for work. Work said, you are uncaring. You are not emotional at what we're asking you to be. You are uncaring, because I don't show emotion very well. What they realize is that my brain processes my emotions really fast, and I'm done with it. It gets filed away.
Yeah.
So I don't need to be happy, and I don't need to cry right away. I'm already processed and done. My brain is a lot faster at handling my emotions so that I don't have to deal with them, so that I can think more clear and not be focused on being upset. I move on very, very fast.
Mm-hmm.
I yell at my kids and I'm mad at them, like, hey, get these things done. I yell at my kids. 2 seconds later, I'm just like talking normal and I'm happy with them, I'm not mad at them forever. Unlike my dad, who's always mad at me for days and days and days. He's a good guy. Taught me everything I know.
Okay, so if anyone is still struggling with the titles and the hashtags, I have made a video. that goes through how to do it on your mobile phone. And it goes through why it's important. So Robert's saying folks just don't realise how much work we do to support people and help them. Watch and encourage sometimes all day long, every day is several hours. All they have to do is get up and do the title and tags. Yeah, I mean, it's huge. I mean, you guys do heaps, and people really don't realise they can't grasp the concept on how much you guys actually put into it.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I mean, I'm hoping my little videos that I've made helps.
Anything like anything you do like that does help. It does support. It does relieve stress, because if you didn't do it and someone like you didn't do it and someone like you didn't do it and someone just like you didn't do it, there wouldn't be those 4 people out there explaining it as a reference.
Yes.
You reach a target audience. The other person reaches a target audience. Robert reaches a target audience. John from Willigo reaches a target audience. Everyone's got their people that watch them more and more and more. It's just the truth. And when you put that information out there, you hit your marks and you help. So yes, by you doing what you do, definitely helps out the community. It's free information. It's posted. It's there. And it's a good reference.
Mm-hmm. That's my theory.
My concern is not getting suspended. That's all. And it's hard.
What was your
say a lot of things. Not getting suspended, because I'm a troublemaker.
Not getting suspended.
I bite my lip a lot. Hard.
Oh, I'm sure you won't get suspended.
I'm a very snarky northerner.
If you do get suspended, then you get a nice shout out from Will It Grow.
Yeah, bump my channel along. Yay.
I'm pretty sure Luke was Lucky Luke from Feather and Down's Homestead was actually disappointed when his suspension was lifted. I'm sure he was trying to get another suspension.
It's funny. So ever since I joined Shed Wars, we hovered around just over 300, and now because I joined Shed Wars, because this is from Shed Wars, because I joined Shed Wars, I'm well over 400 subscribers. So I got like 110, 115 more people just piled on in the last couple of weeks. I was like, whoa. Wickershire is a very private, secret club. I always tell people, welcome to the club. And I mean that. We're tiny, we're small. Shouldn't be a lot of us in here. You know, we can communicate, talk, and share things. You know, and I know my audience. I know who I'm talking to. So when I get new people, I'm like, who are you? How'd you find me? How'd you get in here? And yeah, Shed Wars has opened the floodgates for the invaders to come in and steal all my information. I'm not ready to give it out yet. So I gotta, they pull the strings and they make me dance, you know? Gotta entertain everybody. Videos out there.
So Wild Sayings, there's 3 or more videos out there, so many people giving hints and time to edit it. It's a challenge. Got to do it right to be a part. And you do. You've really got to play your part being a part of the community. And it's going to hurt your channel if you don't do it right anyway. That's all there is to it. The whole idea of it is to help your channel. Yeah.
Being part of the Shed Wars community is like filling out your tax form. You don't want to mess it up.
No, you don't want to mess it up. You don't want to mess it up. A bit stressful, really, in that respect. At least it's not like the YouTube community guidelines. They're a lot more intense.
Jinder, we hit our 2-hour mark. My wife should be home. So we're going to go help with the Easter eggs and get his birthday ready. I can't be a bad parent. It's his birthday. I'm going to go take care of him.
You have to do the Easter egg hunt.
Well, that and presents wrapped up and all that stuff. So I got to take care of the kids. I appreciate being on here. Thanks to everybody for your support and helping both of us out and listening this morning to my ramblings and everything that she says that makes sense. And me, I'm just a mess. Again, I'm horrible on lives, but if it was entertaining, you guys are welcome. If it was educational, I'm shocked just as much as you are.
You've done well. You've done really well, Billy, and you're a lot of fun.
little bit. I don't take credit very well. I just, but I had something to say, and you kind of hit the points of like where this originally started from. You know, listening. If you're going to ask questions, you need to listen, or don't even ask the question. You're not going to get a direct answer either. It's not like this is the direct answer. I got an indirect answer, and the whole Wikishire project came from so many directions, but it was an answer, and it's not even complete yet. See, that's what I don't realize. I thought I had my answer. No, it's still going on. It's a continual learning process. Too much. All right, I'm gonna pop off here. Thank you guys, and thanks. All right, bye.
Thanks for joining me. So I'm going to do a quick rehash of what I was wanting to share at the beginning. A lot of people have just come in. Well, not a lot of people, but so what I was sharing at the beginning of the live chat was about a series that I've found. Well, I actually found it many years ago. It's called the Torchlighters series. It's the Heroes of Faith, and it's basically biographies of the martyrs and all that sort of stuff. So you follow the adventures of the Torchlighter heroes of the faith and see how God works through those who dedicate their lives to serving him. And there are so many different heroes that they actually talk about, like people that have made a difference. And these are real heroes that you can give kids, like great role models. Like you've got St. Patrick, George Mueller, Harriet Tubman. A lot of these people I've hadn't heard of before I found the Torchlighter series. Martin Luther, Robert Jermaine Thomas. Oh, wow. I mean, he's a really interesting one, that one. John Wesley, Corrie ten Boom, Augustine, Samuel Morris. Well, I could actually probably talk for a good hour on each of these videos. They are just so good. Perpetua, William Booth, Amy Carmichael, Richard Wurmbrand. There's a few others too that don't quite fit on the screen. And the Torchlighters website, which the link is in the description for this video. But I will also put the Torchlighters link there. There are heaps of resources and kids' activities, so great things that you can do with kids during the holidays, or if you're stressed and you want to do some colouring in, there's colouring in here too. So you got the George Mueller stuff. You can test your knowledge on George Mueller. I got 6 out of 6, probably because I really love the DVD. So you got colouring in that you can download. There's a maze. There's actually a whole student book that you can download and look at. They're really, really great videos. A lot of them are actually available free to watch on YouTube. I've made a bit of a playlist of the ones that my son likes to watch, although I've actually got the DVDs and have had them for years. Well, as they've come out. So you got the Jim Elliot story. Oh, amazing. Really inspiring. And these videos they're entertaining and they're educational. And they're a personal development side of things too. They help to build character. They help to build strength and resilience. Something I really, really encourage. So this is actually a playlist that's on my other channel, which is called Apps Alive. It's not a very big channel. It's just somewhere where I stick videos that I make for my boys to help with some of their educational stuff. I haven't been all that diligent with that particular channel. At the moment, my main focus is Gendera. And there are some great videos here, and the guys that make these videos are Vision Video, so they've got their own YouTube channel as well, and they've got a huge array of videos on here, both for kids and for adults alike. It's just, there's lots of options for things for kids to actually look at and watch, and just to give an alternative to watching what's on the TV. And if you want to have something to do with your kids that it's going to help them in their life. So there's lots of other kids videos that I've come across over the years, and over the next few weeks and months I'm going to be sharing a lot more of those. But yeah, I hope you found this really helpful and interesting, and it's after 1 a.m, so I really need to go to bed. And I'm really grateful for everyone that's popped in. It was really nice to see you all. Thank you for joining me. And I hope you all have a fantastic Easter. And if you didn't catch my Sunday Night Live prayer earlier, and you feel like you'd like to watch the first little section of that, there's some really inspiring stuff. Oh, I hope it's inspiring, on how important you are and how much Jesus loves you. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed tonight, and I've enjoyed spending time with you all, and hope you have a great one. Have a great night. Bless you.